This story is from before. Finally got a restraining order against my lovely stepmom and went no contact with my father. Though there are plenty worth writing about, I'll start with one of my sister's favorites. My fiancée Jane found out she was pregnant in June 2021, and we announced it to our immediate families in August. At first, stepmom was completely uninterested in our baby. Not that I expected much from the woman whose reaction to our pregnancy announcement was to ask Jane if she was sure it was mine. Even my dad berated her for that one, but she barely seemed to acknowledge the fact that we were expecting. Instead, she was more interested in my stepbrother, who was also engaged and would give her beautiful grandbabies soon. No complaints. We didn't want her involved, and we didn't even have to say anything. Planning our baby shower was complicated. Both me and Jane would have to work until the holidays, and I wanted to be involved. The due date was in February 2022, so we decided on early January as the best period of time. We enlisted 2 people as planners. My sister Laura, just realized I'd never given her a name, and Jane's best friend Nina. Me and Jane are mostly laid back people. We didn't want a big party, nor did we want to spend too much money on it. We were saving for both our baby and the wedding. We decided early on that the shower would be co-ed. It would also have to be indoors. Again, January. And we settled on a guest list of 25 people, plus about a dozen kids. We came up with the idea of a pizza party. Me, Jane, and Luke, my Bill surrogate son, have had homemade pizza nights weekly since I moved in, and we thought it would be fun to incorporate that into the shower. Nina found an event venue with a pizza oven, and Laura figured out ways to incorporate classic baby shower stuff into the theme. The resulting plans were awesome. Make your own pizzas, non-alcoholic drinks, and plain bodysuits for the kids to customize. Nina and Laura mixed pizza decor with baby decor and found pizza-shaped sweets. It almost seemed messy, and I was surprised they made it work, but we loved it. Most of the planning was finished by the middle of November. Well, later that month, my stepbrother's fiancée left him for her ex. They'd been together for 4 years at that point, and it was both sudden and traumatizing for him. He was devastated. Stepmom then realized the grandkids she dreamed of would take longer to come than she'd thought. So naturally, without her son's milestones to obsess over, she moved on to mine. Suddenly, stepmom went from aloof relative to excited grandma, to be. Facebook posts, tacky promoted to Nana shirts, the whole 9. At first, we were too busy finishing things up at work and getting ready for the holidays to worry about that. But it didn't take long for her to start pestering us about planning the baby shower, as well as a gender reveal. We denied the possibility of a gender reveal party. No offense to those who like them, but we don't. Plus, we had decided to wait until birth to find out the sex. Stepmom tried to get us to find out and tell her as a Christmas present, but we didn't. We also denied her the baby shower. She told my father, and he told Laura into letting stepmom help out with the plans. She was still living with at the time, so she didn't have much of a choice. She called Nina, and they met stepmom for coffee. Though I wasn't there for that meeting, Laura told me what happened later. Before they could even mention their plans, stepmom started talking about hers. According to Laura, she pulled a shockingly thick binder, complete with the words, "Oh, baby." On the cover, colorful tabs and pieces of fabric poking out from her bag and skipped to the shower section. It was short compared to the rest of the binder, but still long. And it was all to describe her one and only baby shower project. Laura sent me pictures and, oh boy. I'll give her this. It looked like the most Instagrammable baby shower ever. That being said, it was also barely functional and obviously expensive. There were balloons, oversized teddy bears, giant alphabet blocks, and cringe-worthy signs everywhere. Stepmom was going for pretty over-cozy, with uncomfortable chairs and some fancy food ideas that didn't look edible. Most of them had soft cheeses, which Jane couldn't eat. The color palette was just 3 different shades of pink with gold accents. We'd be fine with a pink baby shower if it at least tried to mix things up a little, but Stepmom's pictures looked like Barbie had puked all over Hello Kitty's birthday party. When Nina tried to remind her that we didn't know the sex, Stepmom said she just knew that it was a girl. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. Stepmom also wanted an all-female, child-free party with fancy caterers and alcohol. She had written down a guest suggestion list containing some of her closest friends. Neither mine nor Jane's moms were on it, and planned party games no one had any interest in trying out. Basically, the only thing everyone could agree on was to hold the party indoors. Laura and Nina weren't given an opportunity to show her their plans until she was done. Once they could, they explained that while they could find a way to incorporate some stepmom's ideas, they'd already settled on the pizza theme. She tried to protest, but Laura stated that it was kind of them to even offer that as the shower was a month away and we'd already greenlit their plans. Stepmom even called me to try to get them to change their minds, but I just repeated their words. My dad had found out he couldn't come to the shower, so he didn't get a say in anything anymore. The holidays came around and the subject was dropped. Stepmom seemed to be okay with the pizza party. Nina managed to pair some of the pink decor she'd wanted with matching blue stuff, and even added one of the huge teddy bears. Fast forward to a week before the shower. Jane was almost 8 months pregnant. Everything had been bought, all guests had RSVPs, and pretty much anything was ready to go. The shower was set to start at 7 p.m. Stepmom offered to get to the venue earlier to prepare everything. Laura agreed, mostly because she knew Stepmom would complain if she didn't get to do anything, and the venue even let them drop off their decorations before the party. Me and Jane promised to get there at 6. 2 days before the shower, however, the venue called Nina. They told her that Stepmom had stopped by to drop off large, heavy boxes of what she called a little surprise for us. She'd informed them that she planned on showing up at 3:30 Tipton to start setting it up. They were calling to reinforce that the venue was only booked past 4 p.m., since Stepmom almost threw a tantrum when told that all of the decor was still at Nina's place, so she called Laura to check if they'd left anything with Stepmom. Thankfully, my sister is both smart and used to this nonsense, so she drove to the venue the next day and asked to see Stepmom's boxes. She told me she wasn't even surprised at its contents when she opened them, but was still shocked at Stepmom's audacity. All of the boxes were filled with pink, frilly decorations. Some of them seemed to be the exact same items Stepmom had initially shown Laura and Nina. The signs, the balloons, the placemates, everything. Laura realized that's why Stepmom intended to get to the venue earlier, to set up the baby shower she'd planned and pretty much force us all to party in Barbie hell with her. She called Nina to figure out what to do. Neither of them could come at 4 p.m., so it was almost inevitable for Stepmom to get her way. The most obvious solution they came up with was to throw everything away. But Laura had a better idea. That night, they called me and Jane. Hey, wanna destroy party in 2 hours? Laura got home and invited Stepmom to go to a salon with her, lying about having coupons. Stepmom agreed, and they planned on going right after Stepmom was done preparing the baby shower. At 4 p.m. the next day, Stepmom got to the venue. She was done setting things up by 5, I'll admit, the woman is fast, and quickly left to meet Laura at the salon. Once they were together, Laura texted Nina that the coast was clear. At that, me, Jane, and Nina went to the venue. Sure enough, Stepmom had prepared her party. To make this shorter, I won't describe it, but I will say it was so pink it almost gave Jane nausea. For the next 2 hours, Laura distracted Stepmom at the salon, while the three of us quickly took down every piece of decor Stepmom had put up and replaced it with the pizza party stuff. We set up the activities, made up the tables, and put every pink item we found back in Stepmom's boxes. It was actually really fun. We were done only minutes before the shower started. A handful of guests arrived before Stepmom did, so I barely saw her all night. Laura told me that when they got there, Stepmom's jaw dropped as she tried to make sense of what had happened to all her pink decor. My sister just smiled, whispered nice try in her ear, and went to help Luke customize a bodysuit. Overall, the baby shower was everything we'd hoped for. Our friends were there, people had fun, and he had a ton of pizza. So I didn't really care that Stepmom spent the whole party literally sulking in the corner. Nina did catch her trying to put little pink bows on top of cupcakes, but she quickly shut that down. I give Laura and Nina full credit for saving the day. Stepmom's interest in our baby quickly died after that. She stopped wearing her Nana shirts, didn't come to see us at the hospital when he was born, and refused to even acknowledge that he was a boy until she met him weeks later. Up until we went no contact, she was a very loose definition of the word grandmother. I couldn't be more grateful my son will never know her. Edit. The baby shower was at 7 p.m. because it was the only time that worked for everyone. That included the venue because it was booked for the morning and we needed time to set things up. Luke was the only small child there. All the others were at least 9. Most of the parents there left early on, too. Also, though, it wasn't child-free, and we were prepared for everyone we'd invited. Not everyone on the guest list was able to come. She's been poking around for years. She lives across the street. She takes my mail, fruit from my trees, things from my yard. I've caught her multiple times, but she seems to think she has every right. Never enough for me to take legal actions. Budget, I'm busy as hell these days. One day, she was by my mailbox with her dog in her pajamas, reading a letter from my bank regarding my small car loan. Just standing there, reading, glasses on, cigarette in hand, reading it. I confronted her and said, opening people's mail is a crime. Not like you have the money to fight it. I thought, fine. You want to read someone's mail? I'll give you enough of your own to read. There's a religious organization nearby. Not sure if they're a cult or a legit organized religion. They leave notes and knock on doors, that type of thing. I'm always kind enough to them, so I get their propaganda in the mailbox every now and again. I used a VPN to go to their website. They had some type of question or application thing. I used a fake email address, fake name, but her address. It also wanted a phone number. Her dog comes and takes a dump on my lawn every evening. One night, I saw him out there, gave him an unsuspecting pat, and took a photo of the tag on his collar. Scurried back home and redid the application with her address and phone number. I see them come by 4 times a week to her house now. Random times. Sometimes 7 a.m., sometimes 8 p.m., most weekends. Knocking, leaving massive packs of papers and take Dumo in her mailbox, on her porch. I just know they're most likely calling her constantly, too. There you go, nosy neighbor. Lots of important scripture to read and keep you busy. Enjoy. Edit. Yeah, I've reported her 6 times over the past few years. Cops take my statement. I gave them photos of her. I can literally see her house from my house. She's a stone's throw away. Never done anything like steal my packages or anything good. I can't be bothered making more reports for stolen letters. Well, rather, read and stuff. Back, in letters, grapefruit, rocks and soil, succulents, and the cheesy garden gnome I got from an office Christmas party. Honestly, I was glad she took that one. This just happened like 2 months ago. Context. I work for my company's recycling buyback center where people can bring recycling in to get paid. So, my 2 other coworkers are just chilling, talking about random stuff until we need to open. We see a woman in a 2011 white Range Rover. She had a bit of an accent, too. I assume it is Middle Eastern. Character's me. Karen. Karen pulls up and waves us down. Excuse me, I have a question to ask. Me walks up to her car. Hi there, how can we help you? Karen. Hi, I'm trying to get rid of some sand to paint that was used for construction. Do you guys accept this here? Me. Sorry, ma'am, we don't accept that here. We only... gets cut off. Karen. But I checked your websites. It says you Do take it. Me. Ma'am, we're not with Waste Management. We're a different company entirely. We wouldn't be able to accept it. But if you park your car in the stall, you can go ask Waste Management where to take it. Karen. But I can't take them because they're too heavy. Me. No, ma'am. You don't need to take it to them. Just park your car, go talk to Waste Management. They'll be able to direct you to the right location in which you can take it to. Karen. Well, you should know how to deal with this stuff since you work next to Waste Management. May. Ma'am, they don't trans to dispose of paint or sand. Karen continues to rant, starts acting up and leaves all while ranting. This happens a lot because we do work next to Waste Management, and people who have stuff we can't accept usually assume we're Waste Management. We usually tell them we're not related to Waste Management but are a different company. Afterwards, we help them out by answering any questions they might have to direct them to where they need to go.